Welcome, gentlemen and viewers. We're here again. We caught another counterfeiter. This case was rather severe because it was actual deception employed by the individual doing this. The individual is known to us. In fact, he approached Ace after an investigation on his part, and doing his due diligence to find the solution to making bulletproof glass, in his case, thinner, lighter, by applying our laminate, the Ace laminate, to his glass. So he approached us, and over time we said, okay, well, let's see what we can do with this gentleman. The gentleman's name is, Mr. Draven?
Khalid Hassan Abdul Wahad from Egypt.
And the name of his company is Videobus. So he said, look, he says, Mr. Fabian, well, he didn't talk to me, but he talked to my staff, he talked to Mr. Nova. I have a really big contract, but I need to pass government testing. So typically we say, okay, well, here's the contract, this is how you represent us, there's rules and regulations, like any contract, right, Jim?
Exactly.
There's rules and regulations. And he said, yes, but I need to pass these tests. Okay. So Mr. Draven assigned an engineering team to work with him.
We worked with him over several months, 3-4 months, and we went through a whole battery of tests, from bomb blast testing, we've got some pictures here from that, excellent testing actually, right up to high-powered weapons for troop vehicles. And he passed all these tests over a period of time, and he got his certifications.
So he got his certifications with the Ace product, made the glass lighter, thinner, more transparent, and then shortly after he got the certification, he did sign his contract. Do you have a copy of it there?
Yes, I've got a copy of the contract here. It's been notarized, it's been apostilled by both Foreign Affairs and the Embassy for Egypt and Canada.
So it's a true copy of his signature on the contract. So as soon as he gets certification, what does he do? He bolts. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else. He changes up the product for China marked product, India marked product, wherever he gets it, who knows. But he used a generic product. And how do we know this? Well, remember, the purpose of the purchase and the testing was for troop vehicles. So now the Egyptian soldiers are responding to ISIS in the theater of war, and what happens? Bullets are coming in. This shouldn't happen. They're told they have bulletproof glass. They have glass that's protected by ACE, that's bullet resistant to a very high level. Why are shrapnel bullets coming in? So what happens now is they turn their vehicles around and they retreat. Obviously, they can't hold their ground, they're not protected. What does ISIS do? They gain ground at the expense of soldiers' lives because of Videobus cheating the system. So, to protect soldiers and our name, I had enough of this. I said, call legal in, call business intelligence in, let's investigate this. Jim, what did you and your team do?
Well, when the Egyptian government contacted you and asking why this product that had passed the testing in Egyptian standards and certification, why it did not work in reality in real life situation in the field. That's when you called me in, and I conducted a business intelligence investigation in which resulted in the fact that proved beyond any doubt that Mr. Abdul Wahad was using a counterfeit product, okay, that did not meet any international standards, and installing it for the Egyptian government, saying that it was the ACE product.
Imagine that. So now we have the evidence, and through this evidence, we found pictures of glass with the name Videobus on it and the name ACE. So people who are buying this glass for their military vehicles see a name of quality, ACE. They know ACE works. It works internationally. If it works for the Americans, Canadians, and British and French, it's going to work for the Egyptians, for sure. But it's failing. Here are the pictures that we obtained in our investigation. It says Videobus and ACE. But it's not working. What went wrong? Well, we obtained a sample of what he's supplying. Here it is. It is paper thin. There's nothing to it. Mr. Draven, how thick would you give this?
Yeah. 4 1/1000ths of an inch, 3 1/1000ths of an inch.
It's nothing to it. Yet he is placing He's placing soldiers' lives at risk for money. So we responded to the Egyptian government saying, look, he can't be using our product. They pushed back, and rightly so. Of course he is. He tells us he is. They sent, unannounced, 8 Egyptian military engineers to investigate our plant, our production, our know-how, and we said, yes, come. We opened our doors, we gave a full run of production, we applied it to glass, and we shot it the same day. And those 8 engineers spent 6 hours witnessing this. And they wrote a report back saying, this is indeed the True Ace product. They compared what we have to what they were buying, it didn't match. So, what went wrong? So we continue with our investigation. Mr. Draven, what else did we find out?
We found out that he bought a machine from China, which he asked us to try to make work. We found out that he was putting together a really thick glass assembly, which was actually doing the work that the safety laminate, the film, was supposed to do.
So the machine he buys is a generic window tint application machine, and he's begging my engineers to make it work for security laminate. It's not designed for that. Security laminate is a security product made to stop bullets and bombs. We're not window tinters. Please stop insulting us. So we turned it back to Jim and said, Jim, what else can we find out?
Well, I mean, over the years, ACE has been contacted by international firms and companies and countries numerous times because of being sold counterfeit product that people claim to be ACE product. Okay? And a reputable supplier of a security product will have had the testing done, will have a facility, will have people employed, and you've got to ask, you know, do you have third-party testing on this? If you do, can I have a copy of it? Where is the facility where this is done? Can I go see it? And so on. In this case, the moment that this individual got the certification using the genuine product, that's why you didn't hear from him anymore, because he was buying counterfeit product and putting it on as if it was the original product.
For 2 years, he hadn't bought a single square meter from us. Yet, all he reported back to Mr. Draven is, I lost a contract, they're not doing it, it's Egypt, you know how it is. He blames the government. So when Jim's group came back and presented me with this, Video Bus Egypt, ACE, since when? You haven't bought from ACE in 2 years. When you go through the brochure, all my pictures of ACE, some of ACE staff in the pictures that don't work for him, they work for ACE. ACE's product sheets, ACE's many accreditations from authorities around the world. And then near the end, what does he have? The certification that the Egyptian government gave him. He doesn't deserve this. So, ACE, I don't want to buy your product, I just needed your product to bait my government, my Egyptian government, to bait them to buy from me, and then I switched it out. Mr. Draven, what do we call that?
Well, it's a bait and switch. That's the name for the scam, and it's a very straightforward deception. We've seen it in many parts of the world, actually.
So while he lives in a beautiful house with a wonderful standard of living and a great big factory, what happens? Soldiers that rely on his word are dying in the field. And that's what counterfeiters do. They have no conscience. They place greed, money over blood of Egypt. And that is criminal. Mr. Bailey.
Well, yes, he put money ahead of lives of soldiers and police officers. And they were less important to him than the money he was making by supplying a knowingly counterfeit product that he knew would not ever function once it got shot at and was putting people's lives in danger. He is an embarrassment to Egypt.
So as long as ACE continues to make quality products, there will be counterfeiters. They're out there. And our goal is to make people aware of them. And in fact, now VideoBus has changed the name. He's chosen some generic name called Shield, so it's VideoBus Shield. So doing that, in legal terms, Mr. Bailey, is admittance. Would you agree?
Yes.
So he's admitted to defrauding people. He has to change his name. He can't use name ACE anymore. He hasn't responded to our lawsuit in North America. Gee, I wonder why. Because he's guilty. That's why. He's guilty of putting money over the lives of Egyptian soldiers and police officers. Just yesterday, 7 police officers were killed that we could have saved if Videobus would have done their job. 7 men did not go home to their families because Videobus did not do his job. That's criminal.
The truth never changes, and when you're involving in situations where people's lives are potentially in danger, you have to trust and verify.
On that note, we thank you for watching our video, and keep watching. We have another counterfeit expose coming up in a few days.